Good afternoon, football fans. This is Carolina Varsity Week 10 coverage of the South Mountain 3A 2A Conference. I'm Jeff Miller.
Anthony Perkins.
So, Anthony, what do you got right here for that conference?
Well, right now the overall conference standings are Creston number one position with a 5-0 conference record, 8-0 overall. Shelby 6-0 in number two. Shelby 6-0 conference record, 9-0 overall, and they have an open bye this week. Kings Mountain sitting at number three with a 7-2 record, overall 4-2 conference record. East Burke, surprise this year, are in fourth place at 3-2 in the conference and 4-4 overall. Drawn is at 2-4 in the conference, 4-5 overall, and number five in fifth place. East Rutherford, 2 wins, 3 losses in conference, 4-4 overall. And Burns and RS Central are tied for seventh with 1 win and 4 losses in the conference. And Burns has a 3-5 overall record. RS Central has a 4-4 overall record. And Chase is bringing up the rear with 0-5 in the conference and 2-6 overall.
All right, so really, this conference, let's just say it's just going to come down to Creston Shelby for the overall conference title. But Crest will be the number one 3A team, and Shelby will be the number one 2A team.
Correct.
And because you look what's left on their schedule, the only challenge they have is each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Kings Mountain, they got Chase and East Burke. I don't see either one of those teams beating them. So Kings Mountain would be the number 2 3A team and number 3 team overall. But between East Burke, Drawn, and East Rutherford and RS Central, it gets interesting.
It does, because there's only 1 game separating all 3 of those teams in the win-loss record.
Yes.
And especially in conference, and that's really where all of them are only games they have left on the slate are conference games. So whatever changes now is going to be adding to or taking away from their conference record. East Burke they're in the driver's seat with a 3-2 record, and Drawn's 2-4, East Rutherford's 2-3. And Drawn still has an open, so they can only, they can't win, they can't lose but 2, but they can't win but 2. East Rutherford, they can still, even though they're at 2-3, they can still yet win 3 games. But they play, unfortunately, they play Crest Friday night, so that's going to be a difficult win. But all 3 of these teams could wind up tied with identical conference records before it's all over with, because of the way that the conference schedule is shaking out and head-to-head matches are still yet to take place.
And, we agreed that East Burke is in the driver's seat, and Drawn and East Rutherford are on the bubble. If East Rutherford can beat RS Central and Chase, they're in.
Right.
They're in the playoffs hands down. And if Drawn can beat Burns, then they might, have a shot. They're not going to beat Shelby.
I don't think so.
At a 3-5 conference record, I'd say they're on the bubble. And RS Central, if they win out, they're in. But if they win 2 out of 3, then they're on the bubble. And Chase, I don't think any more needs to be said. I think they're the team I would say is not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to be mean or cut anybody down, but it's just you can't argue facts.
Well, they haven't won a conference game yet, so they still got to play Kings Mountain. They play Kings Mountain Friday night, play East Burke the week after that, and then East Rutherford rest of the season.
Even if they spoil the records of East Burke and East Rutherford, that's not going to be enough, because that's 4 wins overall, and even if they somehow steal those 3, I just think they'd be below the bubble. So that's better luck next year.
I'm in agreement.
And well,
there you have it for the South Mountain 2A 3A conference.
And we hope that you all have a great week.